Catastrophe bonds seem like a smart way to combat the impact of climate change. However, they may not be helpful to vulnerable countries in the event of a calamity. Our next report explains you how.
The harsh reality of catastrophe bonds is that the nation that needs the payout the most often are the ones losing out. What are catastrophe bonds? They are popularly known as cat bonds on Wall Street. Cat bonds are bets on the likelihood of catastrophic natural disasters. A storm, earthquake, wildfire, or flood is considered to be a disaster. Investors who purchase these bonds stand to gain significant returns if a disaster doesn't materialize. Buyers risk losing all or part of their money if it does. In other words, it's like taking out an insurance against a disaster. There is clear disparity when it comes to cat bonds for developing and developed nations. Take the hurricanes in Florida and Jamaica, for example. Both administrations had spent millions of dollars on cat bonds, which serve as insurance in the event of a calamity. The Jamaican and Florida governments depend on these payouts to finance recovery options. Florida residents will get compensation based on their real losses. Jamaica's equivalent setup did not help. Despite Beryl's terrible toll, the government's World Bank-backed disaster bond, which could have paid out $150 million, did not trigger. The reason? Developing countries utilize different and perhaps less forgiving comparable bonds. Jamaica utilizes an instrument that only pays out in the event that a storm hits a predefined air pressure measurement. Without waiting for damage assessments, these mechanisms, known as parametric triggers, unlock money extremely fast. However, the setting may potentially have unfavorable outcomes. Jamaica wasn't lucky. The reason? Data determined that Beryl missed the trigger outlined in its cat bond by the narrowest of narrow margins. Bond purchasers in the US and Europe could expect gains of almost 12% this year. Nothing will be given to Jamaicans. Jamaicans find it difficult to understand the results on two levels. The complexity of the financial structure and the outcome's seeming injustice. This feeling of unfairness casts doubt on a market-driven solution that is being promoted more and more as means of shielding poor nations from more severe weather. In the developed world, governments and insurers generally avoid parametric cat bonds due to their binary character. The World Bank and Western governments have been convinced to support them for the developing world due to the promise of quick money. Recently, cat bonds have gained popularity among some of the most elite financial players in the world. In 2023, this hedge fund approach produced the highest investment returns. Additionally, it is anticipated that issuance will reach a record high in the coming months. This is likely to push the market's total value above $50 billion. Still, for the vulnerable, this seeming unjust parametric trigger insurance is still the only option and an outside hope. Business Bureau Report, WION World is One.